Fire from the heavens struck Saina, and her plumage burst into flames. She flew high to cool her feathers, and dove to extinguish the fires. Still nothing would cease the burning, and she knew that she was doomed. So she absorbed as much of the heat of the sun and the spirit of fire as she could, and fell dead to the earth. Now only her bones remain, but she will rise again if life is threatened in the Hollow Lands.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. They know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a fey place, and fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest route of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands. You'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Arenda dreams in reverie below. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. Farewell. on the dry winds. Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollolands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. For now, then.
The fair gun from that eastern ledge. Operations can resume. Wonderful. Of all the things that ever walk out of that desert, you're my favourite. Going into the outpost building, I believe. Go and speak to him. He's got some gold for you. They were our biggest competition. And they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Eder never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. Good day.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. Goodbye. Thank you for all you've done. Hello. Ha! The problem with Apatirs, they didn't use
careful out in the sands.
miners. It's amazing that the Fae can flourish.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Craddock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. Aaron Excavations? Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Desert is unforgettable.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motis if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back.
I came here.
Hello.
I've been hoping you'd come by. The miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's my miners. They've gone deranged. Bless my beard. Just as both sides were coming back to full operation, the lunatics fled out into the desert. I tried to stop one of them and saw nothing but a blank stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. He looked cursed. This is the work of that Fae, the one who sits atop the hill on the outskirts of town. If you can find that Fae and make him fix this, he'll be duly compensated. Damn right, there's no other explanation. He calls himself Calovar. Polite enough fellow, I suppose, but I've never trusted him. When we first got this operation up and running, he'd appear out of the sands every once in a while and try to convince us to move out. It's so obvious now. I'll bet he was behind the other problems as well. The Cruddock, the attack on Canyon Hill, all of it reeks of Fae magic. Gulliver watches the mine from his perch on the hill to the south. You'll find him there. Didn't you hear me? They've gone soft in the head. Most ran off into the desert, some stayed in the mines. I tried to stop one of them and got nothing but a vacant stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. Then he took off. He looked cursed. I bet my beard that damn Fae had something to do with this. Nothing is going right. Nothing.
What are you here for, mortal? I'll not suffer another child of dust. I've had enough of your lot. Especially those of you calling yourselves Edgar Allan. What a bizarre query. Your miner's plight is not my doing. If you look to rectify their situation, then we share a foe. The mortal that calls itself Edgar Allan is to blame. Curing the miners of their affliction requires an implement, a Fae relic I gave to this mortal. Take the relic from him and find your miners. It is the only way to free them from their madness. He has fled to his mine. If you truly wish to save the little mortals wandering the sands, you must retrieve my relic from him. You would do well to bring it back to me as well, when you have claimed it. It is a powerful relic, and could do much harm in the wrong hands. Farewell.
You found me, stranger. Been speaking to Calavar, have you? You've been putting out fires for motors all over the place, I hear. What can I do for you this time? You've spoken to the Fae, I presume. I thought I saw you scaling that cliff. He wasn't lying. I wanted motors gone. But I never meant to take it this far. If he'd just packed up his damn operation, nobody would have been harmed. I did. With this little stone Calavar gave me, simply thinking a thing makes a wild Fae do it. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep old Bloodbane from falling for your brownie bait. Calavar told me all about it, and how detrimental it would be if it were taken. Then I just had to tell a couple of gullible cutthroats about this incredibly valuable Fae relic buried in Shadowthorn Hollow. How about I keep the stone and use it to sick my Fae friends on you? Kill this pest, boys! No, please spare me. I was just trying to make a living here. Success should have been mine. I started my operation long before Motus ever arrived. My workers have abandoned me, and I haven't made a single coin from this place. This was all I could do to reclaim what once belonged to me. You understand, don't you? Fine, it's yours. Damn thing never did me any good anyway. I'm sure the Edessan Praetorians won't be far behind me now that the word's out. I won't be here when you return.
By the moon, where are these gazelles coming from? What was I saying?
Reginald, what do we do? The house is aflame! The house is aflame! What? Oh, where is this? By my beard, how did I get so far into the desert? Where do you think you're going with my pickaxe, you wretch? No. Where is this? I promise this is the last time I partake in Detrian ale.
I've never noticed how close the ground is to the sky. I mean, I do now. It's a mistake I'll never make again. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, dear me, I have to go.
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago. What? What happened? What in blazes is this?
Let the little meddlers do their worst. Farewell.
Well, it looks like everyone's back or on their way. We're in your debt once more. Edgar's facilities are vacant now. They're yours if you want them. They were never particularly profitable once his miners left him. But in the right hands, a few of the miners feel so indebted to you, they'd like to work there for you if you'll have them. You should visit the mine when you have a chance. Surely you've heard the name. I dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. Good day.
I'm not sure what's more dangerous.
I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Allan. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. Farewell.
Welcome. The Motus miners have told me all about you. I'm Vincent Helvern, Edgar Aaron's former assistant and facilities manager. I'll continue to run the mining office for you, if you'll allow it. Come and go as you please, the building is yours to use. And if it doesn't suit your tastes, with some spare coin, I can arrange for renovations. If you have enough gold, I can clean this place up and furnish it with goods from across the land. I'll get right to work. It'll look brand new before you know it. Greetings. Hail, friend. The gnomes at Modus Mining mentioned you'd be opening a mining site here. That's all well and good, but I can help you make the most of it. For a small sum, I'll renovate this mine for you, make it bigger. In the long run, you'll earn more money out of it. What do you say? If you give me the gold, I can start clearing out one of the collapsed passages in the mine. I'll start cleaning out the passage right away. Who knows what we'll uncover in there?
As unforgiving as it is blistering.
Greetings!
Careful out in the sands. About time those feet took their leave. These lands are treacherous, but if there's money to be made... I can't believe Edgar put the miners through that. He was always about taking the fight back to the competition, but I didn't think he meant to take their lives. There's no excuse for it. Motus's business practices aside, he had no right. Thank you for righting his... transgressions. For another bit of gold, I can clear out the next section of the mine. We'll have this place running at full capacity in no time.
specialist.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you. For more than just your protection. For being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. I trust him with my life, which is why I've been trying to contact him since I fled Alistar, but to no avail. Where is he now that I need him most? Wait. Of course. He is the one I trust most, and the one who would benefit most from my death! I am a fool! Octien is behind the assassins, and now that you and I are together, he will try to kill us both! Why did I not see this before? If he could repair the Well of Souls in Alistar, then he has no need of me. Not if he has Ventrinio. Ventrinio de Cellini. We used to work together, in this lab, on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here, long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead, early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octien in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desilini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Octien he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant. Ventrinio's notes reference some highly capable assistants that joined him in testing the well and collecting Prismia, but there's no mention of their identity. Whoever they are, they're clever, resourceful, and very dangerous. If we could find them, we might have a lead, or even a way into Alabastra. I am Fomerus Hughes, scholar of vivification, prime circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octien. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me.
you surely ask, is such a well-heeled Praetorian doing here among the dust and brambles? Removing the tarnish from my name and solving the Jotun problem. The old Ragnar has died, and his successor is stirring the embers of war. But he's too clever to openly provoke the Warsworn, so he's attacking gnomes instead. That will not stand. I have a plan to settle this, but it requires someone of both delicacy and grit. Priest, apothecary, and spiritual guide to Jotun kind. The old Ragnar ruled all the Jotun in these heights and the mountains beyond. If this upstart stirs all of them to war, things could go badly for everyone. Yes, I think you do. First, we must find some new and better enemies for the Jotun. Go into Tirskotter Mine, southeast of here, and steal the clan totem from the kobolds that dwell there. Then return to me. Tirskotter Mine cuts into the hills of southeastern Menethir. I don't know where in the mine the clan totem is kept, but it is there. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death, and as for the Jotun, well, one thing at a time. Grand to behold, but lousy with Jotun and spiders and gods know what else. Makes me think the Warsworn put their blasted keep here out of sheer bloody spite. Their keep is hard to miss. It sits on Menethir like an Etin on a pile of bones. It seems the old Ragnar had some wisdom in that slab of a skull. Kept a shrewd balance between infighting and angering his neighbors. But now he's dead, and the new Ragnar fancies the warpath. But that won't be good for anyone. I am, you see, ranked Decanus. That is above Auxiliary, where I serve my time, and beneath Centurion, which is where I belong. Overlooked. Ignored. Once I've settled this Jotun problem, my Praetorian friends will be humming a different tune. Tirskotter Mine is full of the little filchers. If you ask me, they're worse than the Jotun. There's a good deal to be said about them. None of it nice. You hear tales now and then of Jotun guards and Jotun soldiers. I'll believe that when I see it. Brutes!
The carver made by the morning what takes the cycles centuries to shape. He bored holes in the red marches and chiseled the spine in the Ulcerund. Echoes rang through the canyons of Menethir. He gouged the hollow lands and then left it barren.
buds bloomed and the willows wept. Hear us, firstborn, hear us, flesh ones. Own forsakes his throne for a bed of crows. Your people still search for Own's body lost in the marsh. You scour the sand for the talisman of fate, although it is already yours. The gardens of Issa are summer, the Tuatha Deon the entropic legacy. Learn well the ways of both Issa and Own, lest the withering return.
Finally, the carver rested. He grew a mountain crowned with clouds by the river, and leaned against its side to sleep. Ages passed, and the sand settled into his work, and all the land was still. That day, the carver woke to find his touch run dry, the wellspring of his power dead as dust at the source. He heard then the first whisper, the first mention. Mortals.
Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. Damned kobolds is what. Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. Foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. I'd be grateful, but don't expect any wisdom or a fine-crafted gift. Hermits have little to give. I'll need spider sack ichor, fenrack from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those? Some spider sack ichor, fenrack leaf from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's pot. How many times must I repeat it? Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. There you are. Ah, you have the totem. Good. We've made some enemies, so now we must make the feeling mutual. Kill 3 Jotun chieftains known as the Ragnar's Chosen. Their deaths will enrage the Ragnar like nothing else. After killing each of the Chosen, plant one of these kobold daggers in his chest. That should do the trick. They'll be up among the Jotun on the heights, spreading their Ragnar's word. Remember, after you've killed each, plant a kobold dagger in his chest. That's essential. Look! It begins!